Obviously, when I get on that mound, it's game on.
Pablo Lopez, and you're watching Talkin Twins. Awesome.
Meet Brent Headrick, a rising star with the Minnesota Twins, whose journey from humble beginnings in Braidwood, Illinois, to the grandeur of Major League Baseball has been nothing short of meteoric. This is the story of a once overlooked young athlete who defied the odds and made Major League history in his first game.
The main goal here is winning. That's all I care about, and that's all I want to do.
A star performer for Illinois State University, he was awarded the 2019 Missouri Valley Conference Pitcher of the Year, and then was drafted by the Minnesota Twins in the 9th round of the 2019 draft. But his fastball peaked at only 88 miles per hour, slower than most Major League pitchers. To reach the big leagues, he would need a lot more velocity on his pitches.
Hitters are good, the second you get behind, they're able to take advantage of that.
But the moment his career began, it quickly hit a major roadblock. The 2020 season was canceled due to COVID. There was no minor league baseball for a full year. Headrick's development was frozen in time. To make matters worse, he was not listed in the top 30 prospects for the Twins by any major publication. He was the definition of overlooked. But the Twins believed Headrick had a lot to offer. As a 6'6" left-handed pitcher with a track record of success everywhere he'd played before, the Twins were salivating at Headrick's leadership and upside. He followed the team's advice, added muscle, cleaned up his delivery, and shortened his throwing arm action. The result? His 88-mile-per-hour fastball suddenly jumped to 96 miles per hour. The once overlooked prospect was now turning heads.
We've done a lot of work in this past year. I never looked too far ahead, never looked to the next level.
His hard work quickly paid off as he was named an organizational all-star by Minor League Baseball in 2022. In the span of 2 short years, Headrick had rocketed through the Twins system in record time. By the end of the year, the Twins added him to their 40-man roster, one of only 4 minor leaguers to make the cut. He'd impressed the Twins, earned a spot at spring training, and was promoted to AAA to start the year. And then something completely unexpected happened. Only a week and a half into the 2023 season, with 9 innings under his belt at AAA and only 184 innings total in the minors, Headrick received the news that he'd always dreamed of.
It was incredible. I got called into the coach's office. My pitching coach was smirking the second I walked in, so I thought that was a little strange. But I was like, whatever, we're just talking about the hitters for the next day. Because in AAA, there's so much change each day that, lineups are never the same. So I didn't put too much thought into it. And then, they were messing with me a little bit. I was starting to get like, what's going on here? And then finally, Toby, our manager, said, welcome to the big leagues. So it was an unbelievable feeling. It didn't hit me. So it felt the same. Guys were like, you should be going crazy right now. You should be excited. And I was really excited, but I didn't know how to show it, because you just don't believe it's real in that moment. Even when you're on the flight, it still doesn't feel real. But once you finally get there and take it all in, then that's when it kind of starts to, come about. Definitely being in the big leagues eventually was my, my goal all along ever since I was a kid. But even when I got to AAA this year, I thought, it happened maybe later in the year if so. And getting the call a week and a half in, that was even surprising. So I'm just glad to be here. And, like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to help us win and, be the best version of myself. So looking back now, it's kind of a crazy last 10 months, but it felt normal throughout the whole journey. We're just taking it day by day, like I said, and, good things happen.
Someone known for making good things happen in Minnesota is 1987 World Series hero and Minnesota Twins broadcaster Tim Laudner. He explains that Headrick's advancement to the big leagues is incredibly difficult to pull off so fast.
You got to get your feet wet, and you got to learn, maybe to get some hard lessons, but you don't just show up in the big leagues. What did they used to say? It's one thing to get here, it's another thing to stay here. It's just a really, really hard job.
On the mound, Headrick is known for never letting any moment rattle him, including making his major league debut.
The more you can simplify it as a pitcher, the better. The less you're thinking about out there, about any outside factors, the better. So for me, it's like I focus on me and what I have to do right in that moment. And, you can always look back later and do things like that. But in that moment, no matter what, my job is to compete. So I want to keep that mental edge, that competitiveness, and just go after hitters. And then, after the game, go back and watch the outing, soak a lot in, take pictures and things like that. But in the moment, it's just baseball, and you're just trying to, continue to try to get guys out. The biggest thing at any level is just getting ahead. 0-1, 0-2, get the 2 strikes as quick as possible. Hitters are good. The second you get behind, they're able to take advantage of that. So for me, it's go at hitters with my best stuff early in the count as possible and try to put them away late. If they get themselves out before that, more the better.
Throws the ball nice, ball comes out of his hand nice, got nice fastballs, he's not afraid to use it. Every minute that you spend at the major league level is just valuable experience. And that's what you need on a regular basis, is to continue to rack up as much experience as you possibly can. If you're a young kid, you got to make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open, keep your mouth shut, figure out a way to learn something on a daily basis, and you'll be okay.
Always learning, every single day is a learning opportunity, so I just try to take it for what it is, and if there's questions to be asked, you just ask them. You want to learn as much as possible.
As a member of the Twins, Headrick now finds himself surrounded by and learning from some of the best in the game.
Guys here, they're not just incredible talents, they're also incredible people that are willing to help you at any means necessary, but it's just also good to see how they do it and see different things that maybe could help you that you've never tried or never had access to, different things like that. So it's always good to pick their brains a little bit.
First up for Headrick, a trip to New York City to play the Yankees, followed by a trip to Boston to play the Red Sox. From a historical standpoint alone, Headrick really couldn't have picked a better stage to make his debut.
It's great. I call it a good time. I was joking the other day, like, two great stadiums. You just hear about. I've never been to either one, so being there for the first time, but being in the dugout in the bullpen it was incredible. Those are moments I'll remember forever. But hopefully we're going to go back there quite a bit.
Running onto the field, his mindset remained the same as always.
They said, "You're in," and that's pretty much as far as we got. And I'm running out on the field, and I just, my job is to pitch until they tell me I'm done. I wanted to go out there and I wanted to just compete. That's literally what it was. The second I walked out of the bullpen, got to the mound, start cleaning up the mound, kicking the dirt a little bit. I wasn't nervous at all, and I was sitting there like wondering why I'm not nervous. I'm like, I got to have a little bit of nerves, right? And I just went through the 3 innings. I wasn't nervous at all. I thought in that moment I would be, but once I got on the mound, it was literally 60 feet 6 inches, same thing, and we just went after him.
Headrick threw a perfect 1-2-3 inning in the 7th inning. He then threw another perfect inning in the 8th. 2 innings, no hits, no walks, no runs. In between innings, there was no talk of ending Headrick's night early, so he took that as his cue to finish off the game.
We just pretty much talked strategy. I assumed I was probably going to go all 3, being a starter in AAA and all my time in the minors. I knew they probably needed me to close that game out and save some bullpen arms, keep us fresh for the next day. So I kind of assumed, and we just went with it.
Then came the bottom of the 9th. The Red Sox were looking to claw back from a 7-run deficit. After giving up a leadoff walk, a single to the outfield, and another walk, Headrick suddenly found himself in hot water. The Twins made the call to the bullpen and signaled for veteran reliever Emilio Pagan to begin warming up, a warning sign that Headrick's debut was likely one mistake away from coming to an end. The one true test of any athlete is how they respond in the face of adversity. The Red Sox had bases loaded and no outs against a rookie pitcher in his major league debut. In the stands, his family looked on. Back home in Illinois, countless friends and family were watching along on TV. The pressure could not have possibly been any higher on Headrick than at this moment. After 3 consecutive pitches off the plate, Headrick took a moment to reset, kicked some dirt around, gathered himself, and then returned to the approach that landed him in the big leagues. Attack the hitter and get outs by any means necessary. For the Twins, this was their first opportunity to watch Headrick perform under pressure. All eyes in the stadium were on him. Despite a run scoring on a sacrifice fly, his calm and cool demeanor was unshakable. He was relentless, attacking the hitters in the strike zone pitch after pitch, trying to make the hitters get themselves out on weak contact. And in the end, Headrick's plan worked.
It's great, especially when you got your runners out there. You want to do everything you can to not let them score. And your goal is to put up zeros no matter if you're a starter or you're in the bullpen. So that's my mindset, is pitch by pitch, hitter by hitter, and just do your best to put up zeros, keep the team in the game. So I was lucky enough to do that and win the game.
The Twins won the game. Headrick earned a 3-inning save, and just like that, Brent Headrick made Major League history in only his first game. He was just the 19th player in Major League history to earn a 3-inning save in his debut. Headrick says that the faith the Twins showed in him only fueled his performance.
It's a tough situation, bases loaded, no outs, 3-0 count. At that point, it's just like you just got to go at hitters. You got to compete. You got to compete with your best stuff, and that's the biggest thing. You can't back down. You can't do anything like that. So for me, it's just I fell off a little bit there in the last inning, and I wanted to just try to get back in the groove. And we were able to get outs and do things the right way, and limit the damage to 1. So I was pretty happy with that.
Despite his history-making debut and earning his first career save, Headrick remains humble as always and focused on helping the Twins win.
I don't think too much about that, honestly. For me, it's just going out there and pitching the best of my ability and helping the team win in whatever way I can. And that night they needed 3 innings, so I was happy I was able to give it to them. It was a really cool moment after the game to see my parents, and my fiance just outside after the game at Fenway Park on the field. And it was just, that's when it started to sink in that, okay, this is the big leagues, you know what I mean? It's my first one, obviously, so it's just different, you know? It's not like any other outing. It's your debut is always a little bit bigger of a moment. But, you know, I treated it the same going in, but after that outing, it was just like you could almost relax, you know, like because your debut is over, and now it's like you can continue to focus on pitching and things like that. And, you know, the first one getting it out of the way, it's always great. So definitely a lot more comfortable already. Just settling in here and enjoying it every day. So I knew I was getting called up to be a long reliever for the short term, at least for now. So I was just, you know, getting ready every single day because you never know what the game situation calls for. So in the bullpen especially, you got to be ready like that. So you always have to be in the game in the moment. So I was starting to get a little anxious 3 days go by, and you know it's coming up soon, and I'm just excited to pitch. You know, I couldn't wait to finally get that first one out of the way. Because, you know, there's so much emotion in that game. There's so much, you know, everybody, a million people that you know are there to watch you pitch and watching on TV. So, you know, it's always good to get the first one out of the way, get the nerves out of the way. But after that, it's just baseball.
Headrick remains unfazed by the spotlight and maintains a level head about the ups and downs that come with playing such a difficult sport.
I mean, we had some setbacks along the way, you know, different things throughout your career, you know, things like that. But especially COVID, that's a year off of baseball. But, you know, work ethic's a big thing for me, and I just try to continue that each and every day. Whether it's in season, off season, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's all the same. So just try to put in the work every day, and yeah, just don't, like I said, I don't look too far ahead. You know, I'm here and present in the moment, and, you know, take each moment for what it is. Don't take it for granted, and, you know, just trying to enjoy it.
The Twins have bet on Headrick to be a big part of their future, and he knows it. Now that his major league career is underway, Headrick wants to prove his worth to the Twins.
I wouldn't say it's pressure, no. I'm going to go out there and be the best version of myself no matter what. But I do want to prove them right. You know, I want to make them know that they made the right call.
This organization has, you know, deemed the young man to be worthy of being in this Minnesota Twins organization. It's a great organization.
Main goal here is winning, so that's all I care about, and that's all I want to do. So anything they need from me to do that, you know, I'm going to go do it.
As both a broadcaster and former player, Tim Laudner has seen a lot of prospects come and go. He believes that Headrick is proving the Twins right so far.
I think they have confidence in the kid. They brought him up. And you know what? You don't bring people up just to fill a spot. You don't bring people up just because they got a heartbeat. You have to be able to get some people out. And he proved that he could get some people out at the major league level. He said in his post-game comments he wasn't thinking about the save. But sometimes guys have a little tendency to start thinking about and getting ahead of themselves a little bit, trying to get that last out before you get the first out. And so if there was a lesson that I hope he learned in that ninth inning was be patient and go about your business the way you did in the seventh inning and the eighth inning. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't rush. The end of the game will come soon enough. Will he, you know, stay with this club the rest of the year? That remains to be seen. Twins, you know, they don't hesitate to utilize their roster to their best interests, and you know, I don't think that they'll hesitate to do that, you know, with Headrick either. But you know, I hope he stays all year long.
Whether he's honing his skills in the minors or pitching in the majors, Headrick embraces every part of his journey.
Everything's the same for me. You know, it's the same game no matter where I'm playing at. So I'm just, like I said, put in the work every day, do exactly what I need to get done that day as part of my routine, and you know, look back later on. But for right now, we're just going to enjoy the moments and, you know, day by day.
You know, enjoy every moment. It doesn't last forever. But while you're here, pay very, very close attention to the details. Worry about, you know, concern yourself with some of the little things. Go about your business. Take care of yourself. Good things will happen to you.
Looking back, it's pretty incredible, actually. You know, we've done a lot of work in this past year. And for me, I never looked too far ahead, never looked to the next level. Just kind of took every day for what it was, enjoyed it, worked hard. And yeah, like I said, you know, if you take care of your business, the rest will take care of itself.